Well, this is a slightly recycled joke, but it is a true story. I learned about 2 weeks ago not to ever introduce yourself as a serial entrepreneur to the wrong audience, because someone immediately asked me if I create new innovative flavors of cereal. So it's the first time I've ever heard that true story. First, I want to start out by thanking Beth Harbor and the Able Foundation. We're all going to do that, but it really is worth mentioning. The ETC, Deb Tillett, Fulia, Neil Davis, incredibly valuable team that's helped us out, and all the mentors that have pitched in, and many other advisors that have helped us out over the last 6 to 8 months. I'm Justin Shelby, and I have a background in product development, operations, and marketing that spans about 20 years. And this is my co-founder, Kevin O'Connor, who has over a decade of software development experience as a software engineer. And we're here to talk to you about the Artichoke mobile client management solution. It really all started back several years ago when we developed an in-house solution for a couple of health clubs that my wife and I own, because we needed a better way to track personal training, payments and sessions and commission reports. And so we teamed up with Kevin to develop an in-house solution for this, but quickly realized there was a much broader need across other occupations for something similar. So, digging in a little deeper, we were shocked to find that there are 20 million people in the United States workforce that are self-employed, and they're going to make up 40% of the U.S. workforce by 2017. Just an enormous market. And within that, there are many occupations, but the occupations we've focused in on are service-oriented occupations like trainers, massage therapists, stylists, cosmetologists. There's many, many professions where people that are self-employed have to face some common challenges. And those common challenges are, because of the nature of their service-oriented business, they don't have reliable or dependable access to a computer. It's not how they make their money. Number two, they have very limited time in between servicing clients to get all the other stuff done to manage their business. And number three, no staff, no administrative support. It's all on them. And believe it or not, although they're all carrying a smartphone and know exactly how to use it and have tons of apps downloaded, they're using pen and paper. Most of the people we've interviewed are actually using pen and paper to manage their business. Now, if you take an even deeper look, it's actually about $1 billion market that's virtually untapped. And here's some of the feedback that we're hearing from users during these interviews. And this is just a snapshot of a couple of the examples. But I'm tallying a shoebox full of receipts at the end of the year to prepare for tax time. I keep my client notes on note cards. These are true quotes from real users. I keep my client notes on note cards. It's not the greatest system, because if I lose the cards, I lose everything. Keep in mind the same user has an iPhone in their pocket. Third, no shows cost me money, but I don't have time to remind every client of their appointment. So the bottom line is, as they go through the course of the day of servicing clients, all the other stuff is piling up. Administrative stuff, client notes, reminders, sales tallies, sales tracking, all that stuff's piling up, making nights and weekends fair game. And quite frankly, you get to a point where you just can't get it all done, which affects your ability to provide good service. And this is another example of how it manifests itself. No-shows cost me money as a provider, because we've heard between 2 and 10 no-shows on average reported per month, with an average session value of $60 per session. That's $3,000 to $7,000 in unrealized income for me for the year. Now, if I make between $25,000 and $40,000 a year, that's a huge percentage of my potential revenue that I lost due to no-shows. So what we're talking about is doing to client management what QuickBooks has done for accounting, which is to make it easy to use, make it affordable, solve some real problems that this user has, and focus on features and functions that are mission critical to what they do, stuff they do every hour of every day. Oh, by the way, it's 100% mobile. So instead of sitting in front of a computer and losing a billable hour, I'm now in front of a client earning an income. Here's a snapshot of the product and some of its core functionality. Appointment scheduling, payment tracking, and the potential to do payment processing, check-ins and attendance tracking, client profiles, client notes, automated notifications of appointments and account changes, sales reports, and other core features. Not every feature, but the core features that this user needs. And oh, by the way, it's actually a real product now. It's good to be able to say that. And if you want to come by and see us after the presentation, we'd love to give you a demo. Please, we really want to give some demos. But these are a few screenshots out of the application. that is still a work in process, but we're about to get out to some beta users. So the bottom line is less administrative time, plus more billable hours, plus better client communication means more earning. So from a pricing perspective, it's equally simplistic. There's an extended period of free trial, followed by a really simple flat rate pricing structure, which is $29 a month, we think. We'll have to listen to our users and make sure that's right. But from a value proposition perspective, here's how I put it. If you have just one less no-show per month, you've paid for the product. If you just get one more referral from our referral engine per year, you've paid for the product. If you have one less hour, I know the slide says one day, but one less hour of admin per month that converts to a billable hour, you've paid for the product. So the value proposition works for the user. And from a marketing channels perspective, they're occupation-focused users. So you can go to trade organizations, accreditation firms, licensing, trade associations, social media discussion groups, key thought leaders for these industries. It might be bloggers or writers. And last but not least, our own subscribers. Every trainer knows a massage therapist, knows a stylist. So there's a lot of cross-pollination potential for this product. And then it's about test and refinement in terms of your marketing tactics. And some of the tactics that we'll go out and explore now that we have a product are some of the basic ones you'd expect. We'll make some mistakes, figure out what the best ones are, but SEO for making sure people can find us on the web, a basic one. Believe it or not, old school direct mail. We can get some really excellent direct mail lists by occupation. Web advertising, perhaps on sites related to these occupations. Social media discussion groups, participate in these, add content, make some relationships with some key thought leaders. Endorsements, editorial placements, which are usually very inexpensive, but can reach millions of users at a very low cost. And once again, last but not least, a referral program that capitalizes on our existing customer base. So the bottom line is we're an early entrant into a huge market with a product that has a high switching cost. And what I mean by this is once you've entered a few clients and it starts working for you, you're very unlikely to make that change to something just for an incremental gain. Because there's time involved with that you don't have to give. It's a very sticky product, which also equates to a greater retention rate for the subscribers, which is pretty true with a lot of business utility applications. It takes very little time to set the product up and use it, which is different than many other solutions in the market. It only has a very simple fee structure as opposed to a volume-based fee structure or a fee structure that is based on what features you select, which we found users really don't like, especially this user. There's no complex merchant accounts to navigate. If you decide to accept credit cards, there's a few simple data fields you complete, and it's done. And lastly, but equally as important, there's a universal feature set, which means to appeal to multiple occupations, we don't have to have multiple versions of the product because we focused in on a core feature set that works for all of them. So in summary, there's no established solutions in a billion-dollar market. We solve critical problems for the user. Mobile penetration is reaching 75%. So for the first time ever, you can have a mobile product like this in the hands of a field-based user. And they're already familiar with that interface. So the learning curve is only associated with your product. We have very efficient marketing channels because user-specific occupations we're targeting. And the market actually supports several offerings. So even though we're an early entrant, if a few other folks enter the market, there's room for a few different companies to play. So what we're looking to do now is to raise a $500,000 convertible note. We've been self-funded to date, and we're lucky enough to participate in the Accelerate program. But what this money will do is give us the ability to take our responsive web application to a native app, give us some marketing dollars and some support dollars, which you need to support your product as you grow your subscriber base. These things are not all done at once. There's a very measured plan about how this rolls out. But this is our objective at the moment. And to give you a little perspective on where we've been and where we're going, back in 2009 we launched the in-house solution that I spoke of that evolved into Artichoke, which we formed in July of last year. We were selected by Accelerate in December, and we hope to launch our beta product, and we're well on our way to do that next month. We have an official market plan, launch plan for August. In September, we're hoping to establish some relationships with a few key trade organizations to expand our reach to thousands of potential users. In October, we want to close our first round. November, top 3 market blitz. January, launch native applications on iPhone and Android, iOS and Android. And in February, expand the market blitz to 10 markets. So a pretty measured plan. We think this is an $8 to $9 million business in 5 years with $7.5 million going to the bottom line. It can be run efficiently, and it can be run very effectively with using the right tools that we're putting in place today. And the marketing readiness perspective, we've got a website that has just been launched recently, so if you come by and grab a piece of collateral, we're pretty happy about how that's turned out. A really robust customer support platform that will give us the ability to listen to our customers and organize their feedback. A really robust engineering development platform to do the same. Find the bug, correct them, organize them, prioritize them, email, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter. We're ready to roll. So it's a really good feeling to be able to say that after so many months, but we are at the point where we're actually going to be able to put product in users' hands. And this is a little snapshot of the new website. So let me thank you first of all for your time. Once again, thank the ETC and Accelerate Baltimore. And please do come by and see us and check out the product for a quick demo.